let's get this straight. You just clicked on this video because you wanted fat loss to be simplified, no extra fluff, no fancy words, nothing complicated, so you can get straight to the point and get the advice you need in less than 5 minutes. And you're probably thinking, well, who the hell is this guy and why should I trust the advice he's giving me? Well, that's a good question, but you might want to know that I've been exactly in your shoes. I actually grew up my entire childhood obese until the age of 14 when I finally decided to turn my life around. Before going into my fitness journey, I was a wreck. No discipline, no self-respect, and no confidence to talk to girls, step out of my comfort zone one bit. I was 5'4" and over 230 pounds. But after over 6 years in the fitness industry and becoming a sports nutrition coach, coaching other people worldwide, I decided why not just share the knowledge with you right now for free. So let's jump right into it and waste no more of your time. Your essentials when it comes to understanding nutrition is knowing what calories in versus calories out means. Calories are king. If anyone tells you otherwise, not all calories are the same, they are lying, because calories are just a measurement. If you measure and intake more calories than you expend, then you burn off. If you bring in more calories, then you will gain weight. And the same thing happens vice versa. If you burn more calories than you take in, then you will lose weight. You'll lose body fat. And that's the key to what we want to do here for you to lose fat fast. The first thing you want to do to know how many calories it takes to lose weight is to simply multiply your body weight in pounds by 12. This will give you an average estimate on the amount of calories that you got to stick to per day to lose body fat. It may be less, it may be more depending on how much you want to lose, but this is a good average range for the average adult male. So first, you know that calories are important. Second, you know how many calories on average you need to lose weight. Just multiply your body weight by 12 and there you have it. Thirdly, you need to know how you're going to be able to track the calories that you're taking in. And to do this, download an app called MyFitnessPal. It's the most popular food tracking app in the world with the biggest nutrition database. I've used it to absolutely transform my physique and build an aesthetic physique from a pudgy fat kid. So I assume it'll do the same for you if you actually are consistent and commit to it. Make sure you set the goal calorie count in the app to the calories that you're trying to hit each and every day. Obviously using the formula we just went over. Now lastly, with nutrition, you want to know what kinds of foods you want to make up these calories with, so that one, you don't go to bed starving like a dog each and every night, and two, you can still have tons of energy, also build muscle in the gym. The first thing you want to look at here is to prioritize protein intake. In every single meal, you want to make sure that it is made of high protein. Aim to hit 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That is a good target range for most people to strive towards, so that you can maintain muscle mass and also build muscle in the gym whilst trying to lose body fat and also stay full, because protein is the most satiating, means it's the most filling macronutrient out of all 3 macronutrients. Foods like cottage cheese, chicken breast, lean ground beef, dairy, whey protein powder, stuff like that. Base every meal from here on out on a lean, high protein source. Now you know what you got to eat as far as protein specifically. What about the rest of the food? You want to make sure that you prioritize whole foods, so foods that have single ingredients. These are mainly found around the outside of grocery stores and can make up meals very, very simply. It's just one ingredient. Potato, like ground beef, like fruits. These types of foods are more satiating because they are harder to break down and less processed, meaning that your body has to do more processing to digest it than typical fast food and foods you find in convenience stores. So make sure at least 80% of your diet is made of these, so that you can feel more full and burn more calories through digestion. And I'll say this again and again, but consistency beats perfection. Don't try and nail every meal every single day, but make sure that you don't miss more than 2 days in a row. Now to move to training, you want to train at least 3 to 4 times per week, either doing a full body split or a upper lower split. This means doing upper body Monday, lower body Tuesday, rest on Wednesday, and then upper body again on Thursday, and then lower body again on Friday. This is a good enough frequency so that anyone can find time for the gym, because you don't have to go 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, like a absolute gym rat. We're not here to do more quantity, we're here to focus on quality. So when you're in the gym, you want to make sure you prioritize strength movements, and they are compound lifts, so that you are getting the biggest bang for your buck and gaining muscle in multiple areas, using movements like pull-ups, squats, bench, rows, that type of stuff. So make sure it's mainly compound lifts, and in these sessions pick 4 to 6 exercises and hit them with 2 to 3 sets, and make sure in between each set you're resting 2 to 3 minutes. It's a really easy rule to remember, just 2 to 3. The biggest key here that I can stress outside of consistency is to make sure that you progressively overload week to week. So that means each week you want to try and beat the lift that you did last week with one more rep, or add a tiny bit of weight on to make sure that you are actually getting stronger on the movement, which means you will look more aesthetic and gain more muscle. So that was training and nutrition covered pretty damn quickly. Let's go over cardio now. For cardio, it's actually not as important as training and nutrition to lose body fat. You just want to make sure you're hitting at least 8 to 10,000 steps per day to keep up your daily activity and also improve your overall health. But as far as sprinting and killing yourself on the treadmill when you're at the gym before and after sessions, that is not needed. You do not need cardio to get an elite aesthetic physique. So keep up that step count and train hard in the gym. And most importantly, make sure that you're in a calorie deficit so that you can continue to lose weight. Now for the part that most people tend to skip over, which is recovery. Make sure you're sleeping between 7 to 9 hours per night so that you're optimizing muscle growth and making sure that the weight loss that is coming from your body is mainly fat and not muscle. They've done studies where people who are sleep deprived and in a calorie deficit lose more of their weight from muscle than from fat. So we want to make sure it's pretty much all from fat and we get to keep all our muscle, if not gain some, during this fat loss phase. Ever since I started implementing these 3 things, training, nutrition, and recovery, my life transformed completely. Not just in the gym and how I looked, but with my confidence, my self-respect, my social circle, everything. Now, that doesn't mean I'm perfect each and every day. I've had days where I would sleep less, where I would go to bed late, where I would not hit my protein goals, but I made sure that for the next day, I got back on track, still committed to improving each and every day. We're not here to be perfect, bro. We're just here to stumble our way uphill and see the benefits of self-improvement. Just remember that if you don't sacrifice for a better version of yourself, then no one else will, because all you have in this world is you, your soul, and the promises that you keep to yourself. Now look, I was working a labor-intensive job, waking up at 5 a.m. most days, working tons of hours, 6 days a week, and I felt like crap because I tried to do this super complex routine, and I also did this really complex diet, and I was feeling like shit. So last year, I decided to simplify everything, take a step back, and focus on the fundamentals when it came to my training, my nutrition. And 5 months later, I was 35 pounds down and in the best shape of my life, all while improving in other areas like my business, career, and my social circle. Simplicity transformed things for me, and I hope in this short video, it can do the same thing for you. So if you found value from this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe. It really helps. And make sure you comment below the habits that you will be implementing starting today to reach your aesthetic goals. And remember, bro, leave no more lost potential. Peace.